Hello everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Essence, and in today's video I would like to discuss skeptics and non-believers. So before I go into talking about this video, I want to say right up front, right now, I am not opposed to people who do not believe in magic. I don't mind if you don't. I don't mind if people believe in a god or the gods. If you are an atheist and believe in nothing, that's fine with me. I have absolutely no issues with you. And in fact, that's not who this channel is for, you know? It's for the people who do believe, or maybe even half believe, or people who don't know what to believe and are just looking. Perfectly fine. Freedom of choice. That is number one. So now that we are clear, this isn't to bash people who do not believe in the subjects that I discuss, the things that I have an interest in. This is more just like how people like me, which if you're watching this channel because you believe in magic, then you're someone like me. This is for the people who do have interests in that subject, in the subject of the paranormal, the spiritual, the mystical, the religious, what have you. I know how difficult it can be going through your day-to-day life being called crazy. I've been called crazy my entire life. So, growing up as a kid, I've always had an interest in the paranormal, ghosts. I used to love watching all kinds of ghost shows like Ghost Hunters, even though it's crap. You know, they never really catch anything. It's all just for looks. Paranormal State. Love that one. A Haunting. That one was my favorite. In fact, I have some on DVD. What else? My Haunted House. Even though it's all fake stories, it's still interesting. I like paranormal shows like that, and I always have as a kid. I didn't really have an idea of what my spirituality was. I mean, my parents were raising me Christian, so I didn't really go against that, but I didn't really understand why. I didn't really click with it, but I was like, okay. And I remember I didn't have a whole lot of friends in school. The few friends I did make, they didn't last very long. And I remember bringing up the subject of ghosts and spirits, and they're like, ghosts and spirits aren't real? What are you, stupid? They actually said that. Yeah. I'm so glad I don't talk to the bitches anymore. But I remember how disheartening it was, but it's like, you know, not everyone believes in the same thing. There's actually a lot of people out there who don't believe in ghosts and spirits. The few friends that I had at the time were more rational people. I remember I was friends with this one egghead, and I should have known he didn't believe in any of that stuff. And you know, whenever I tried to discuss it, because, you know, as a kid, the stuff you're interested in, you're going to talk about, right? And he's like, you know, ghosts aren't real. Mm-mm. And it's like, I try to talk, and he's like, ghosts aren't real. Mm-mm. Okay, fine. And, you know, it was a big deal to me back then, but it isn't, you know, now. Of course, I've long gotten over it. But I didn't really get into spirituality and magic until later into my junior year of high school. And my senior year, I really started diving into it and, you know, really getting into my existential self. Being my true self. I started to be my real self to everyone. And a lot of people reacted positively to it. But I remember, in oral communications especially, we would give speeches and we would learn to talk in public and how to show confidence when speaking in front of a group. And the shy kid I once was really opened up my senior year. So, I was being funny. Everyone was laughing. I was, really out there and everyone liked it. And also, a lot of the things that I discussed was that I am an existentialist. We did that little test to see what kind of learner you are, and I was existential. Meaning that I'm able to really talk about things that are usually beyond people's view, like from a plane of existence or why we are here and stuff like that. I had the capacity to talk about it. And I'm always learning. And I remember quite a few times I would discuss magic, and there were people who were very, I don't think they believed in it, but they were interested in hearing about it because I must have made it sound interesting. And this was way before I had, this channel. I think I started a spiritual channel on my original channel, but it was like mixed in with like skits and stuff. And that's when I was like, I need to put it on its own channel. But I remember discussing it. And there was a lot of people who, while they weren't really full believers in it, they were just like, ooh, tell me more. Tell me more. This is a very interesting subject. And then, of course, there was a few people who were just like, yeah, right. You're just one of those edgy teens, aren't you? Trying to act cool and trying to act like you know what you're talking about. And these were the non-believers. And I remember in my final, so they had us write a farewell speech at the end of oral communications class. And it was my senior year, so that was literally my last year being there. And I forgot to write it. I forgot to write it on paper, so I just improvised. And I think I actually did pretty well. But anyway, and she wanted us, the teacher wanted us to talk about like goals that we had in life. And I had many, I was like, travel, get a job I like, explore my interests, work on my magic. And one of the goals I had was to learn how to breathe fire. Yeah. I do believe it's possible if we can get magic powerful enough, but a lot of people are just like, wow, he really said that, didn't he? But there's been quite a few people I've talked to, spirituality comes up and, I kind of start talking about magic and spirituality, and there's a lot of skeptics out there. There's a lot of non-believers, and I know sometimes it can be disheartening when you fully understand it, you fully believe it, but not everyone does. Not everyone has the belief. Not everyone has the capacity to understand. But that's okay. Not everyone needs to understand. Not everyone needs to be convinced. In fact, no one needs to be convinced. If people are truly interested in that subject, they will come to you, or they'll come to a source that can provide it. No one should be convinced that it's real, because you don't have to prove anything to anyone. There's a lot of people out there, whether they don't believe in it because they're atheists, they don't believe that there's anything like that in this world, or they have a rational mind, and they're like, there's no evidence that that's real, so it's not real to me. A lot of people are like, if you can't sense it with any of the five senses, then it doesn't exist. And then, of course, you got the religious people who do believe in a religious power, but either, they don't believe in the message you're sending, or they believe the message you're sending is like bad, so they're just like, no. And I faced that quite a bit in my life. It used to bother me, but it doesn't now. We live in a big world full of different people who believe different things, and everyone's on their own path. Not everyone is going to believe in magic. Not everyone is going to believe in ghosts and spirits. Not everyone is going to be convinced about your true path. Not everyone is going to understand your true path. But that's the thing. It's your path. They don't have to understand it. Just don't get in the way. People often don't find, like, with all my ideas and plans, because I have some plans that are, like, out there. And if you guys have heard my beliefs on magic, then you would agree. I have some out there ideas and beliefs. And everyone's like, you're crazy. You're not really going to do this. And the truth is, I don't know if I'm going to do it. But I would like to try and see what happens. But don't let skeptics and non-believers get you down. People are going to believe what they're going to believe. And not everyone's going to believe you. Just continue on your path, unburdened by things that are out of your control. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And have a good day. Walk on your spiritual path.